Probably.
Okay.
Okay.
Going to try there.
Okay. Thank you, JD.
Hello. Can you hear us now? There we
Are
go.
we connected?
There.
Are we on the
now.
internet?
Hello, everybody, and welcome. As you can probably see, we're totally professional about all of this. And speaking of professionalism, I would like to say, hey, everybody, thank you for helping give me a better lighting setup as well as camera setup, because as you can see, no longer, for all of you on twitch.tv/TheIndoorAdventure at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, Mondays, Tuesdays, and sometimes Wednesdays, can see behind me that I have my map of the Forgotten Realms. I have artwork that I am very fond of. And that is behind me now instead of the white wall of shame that I had to deal with for quite some time. So thank you, Patreon and Twitch subscribers, because without you guys, I would still probably be in a really shitty chair and not have a nice one that doesn't hurt my back. Also, to start things off, LB, you received a package in the mail earlier this week. Do you have any idea what this package is?
You're muted.
You're
muted.
I mean, I don't. I might be able to guess from what the shape of it, but I don't know what it is. I know what it's for.
It's for an early birthday gift, because LB is not going to be joining us next week on either of our shows because she is going to be off doing birthday things. So,
like a punk.
So,
I'm gonna get a facial.
Yay!
Yay!
So, I'd like for you to open up your gift. Let us see.
Open it.
I'm so
It's
excited.
already partially opened because.
Please watch what you're cutting. Please watch what you're cutting.
Oh, it's fine.
I open boxes as part of my job. Okay.
There's even more cardboard. We just got our cardboard, guys.
It's cardboard all the way
No,
down.
I love cardboard.
It's a locket.
Fun RJ fact. I'm allergic
To lockets?
Ooh.
to cardboard.
Oh.
How do you?
Ooh.
Don't you pack boxes for a living?
I used to take a shit ton of cardboard.
More
It's
cardboard.
more cardboard.
Oh my goodness! Hold on. I thought prepping the package would be, you know.
I don't know if it was either the dirt on the cardboard or the cardboard itself, but
Okay, don't click the thing. I don't know where I'm gonna put
RJ.
this.
You'll find room.
the R in
I
RJ
want
stands for
to
ravens.
rearrange everything. All right.
You'll find.
Moment
Guys,
of truth.
And then I'll
You know, I thought that was gonna be. She doesn't.
Woo! Oh.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, you guys! Who did this?
Who did what?
Gorgeous.
Who what?
Whomstitive indeed.
Homestead
Whomst if it is.
James, was this you?
Well, okay, so you need to blame Barry for most of this.
Yep. Very
That's-
organized.
He helmed this, but yeah, that he did commission me to do that.
It's so cool. That
So, for all of you audiocast listeners, it is a face-off style picture of Gwen and Ghost. LB's two characters on our show.
Get the
Shows.
shit out of here.
Yeah, I just imagine like LB running towards her wall, and just like tearing everything down, like in one go.
It's like if I had a nail in the right spot, I would. This is gorgeous, guys. Thank you so much, GB and Barry. If you're in chat, thank you.
Happy early birthday.
Happy
Somebody
early
should clip
birthday,
this.
Miss.
Clip
Merry
it so that way
birthmas.
Barry can see if he's not here.
Yeah.
Hasty birdie.
Hasty birdie.
Birth.
Birth.
Ah,
Yes, so
I love it.
happy early birthday. That's why we
Thank
had
you,
you open
guys.
it this week instead of next week, because again, you were going to be gone doing some fun stuff. So,
Like a jerk.
happy early birth, miss.
Guys, thank you so much.
All
You're
right.
so welcome.
I'm just gonna be staring at in my screen the whole time.
It's fine, because then we're just gonna be like, Gwen.
Also, before we start the show, there is one other thing I would like to bring about, which is, hey there, traveler. Have you ever thought to
Whoa!
yourself,
Whoa!
maybe I'm a little bit colder than I ought to be? Well, did you know that the in-store adventures actually has you covered? We got long sleeves, we got t-shirts, we got mugs, we got t-shirts for,
No, wait.
such as the one that Connor is wearing, which is the Real Dragons Were Your Friends All Along. We got RJ's classic Indoor Adventures tee. We got me wearing a Blake t-shirt. Yeah, that's right. We got t-shirts that have Blake scar marks on them with an awesome hand-drawn symbol of Tiamat on the back. I would show you that one, but this is an old design for this shirt that maybe is a little bit of a copyright infringement, but that just made it a limited edition. Now, where can you possibly find all of these great things? You can find them at streamlabs.com/indoor, the indoor adventure /hashtag/merch, which is a very, very, oh, there it is. There is that hand-drawn Tiamat t-shirt. It looks very nice and great. So, I would like to say, if you are interested in these kinds of merch-like things, you can find them there. There's a link in the description of this Twitch video, of this Twitch VOD, YouTube video, audiocast. You can find it right there. So, that is my spiel. Thank you all for sticking with it.
Thanks for attending my TED Talk.
Yes, this is my TED Talk, and now I have just done a better transition. There. Hello. Welcome back.
Look at those camera angles. This is
know.
the quality production value your Patreon money goes to.
It's true. I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't have multiple cameras in multiple locations, which I only got because of people like you. So thanks, everybody, for helping make this possible.
I should probably. That's not the right character sheet.
So, without further ado, let's get into it. But first, one thing that you guys did bring up. Let's introduce our characters. Who are we playing today, guys? So are you, RJ.
Oh, hey. Hey, everybody. I am RJ here on the show, but currently I'm playing Caelum, the Shatterguy Cleric.
All right, LB.
Hi, I'm LB, and I'm playing Gwen, the halfling barbarian, who's a little out of sorts.
It's true. Seagull.
Hi, I am Cyber, and I am playing Blake, the Dragonborn, ? Blood Hunter.
All right, and Danae.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danae, also known as Wings, and I'm playing as Coriander, the Eladrin Paladin of Coralon.
Yes. All right, so these are all of our characters and where we last left them off. You guys had finally succeeded in sailing across a narrow strip of sea leading up to the Isle of Arathsk. And upon reaching this island, you departed ways from Captain Oliviette, who said that she was going to go and ensure that the trade that Denzig had initially set up ended up going off without a hitch. So that way he could get paid, she could get paid, and most importantly, business could continue as usual. The four of you continued with the first mate, Alvar Dalcor, up to Arathsk's Glorious Coffers, which is the local bank on the island that resides underneath a large golden statue of this bronze dragon, I believe. I need to look really quick. I don't know why I forgot. It's kind of important that I don't.
I always confuse bronze and brass dragons.
Listen, bronze, brass, and copper. What even is the difference?
What's the
Fire, and lightning? No, it's all fire.
So, hello everybody.
one of-
Welcome to production.
One of them's lightning, for sure.
One of them's acid.
One of them's acid.
It is a large bronze dragon.
Okay.
Which is...
Not ancient?
He is ancient.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Alright.
But the
There are
style
two
of
dragons
the
that we know of. Both of them are ancient.
Yes. And upon receiving your money from Denzig, you made your way, or not from Denzig, but from Alvar for the funds that Denzig was to transfer to you. You decided to make your way to the Greyboard Tavern, where you ended up meeting a local barkeep, Greybeard, who who told you guys that the friends that you were looking for, the combat group known as Off Constantly, had actually gained an additional member. And were located within the bar. Upon realizing this, Caelum and Coriander both used their various blessings as elves to teleport themselves right next to said group, where Blake ordered more drinks and came up a little bit later, and Gwen actually decided that she was going to stay and drink some water with the crew of the Midnight's Dancer, Captain Oliviette's ship. And where we last left off was Farron, the humans, what you would presume to be leader of this group, asking you all to tell him everything that you guys had actually been through since your last departure. He was very curious about listening in and finding out more. So, what are you guys deciding to tell Farron?
So we were at this town, and we were at a festival full of masks, and then there was a ghost, and the ghost possessed me, and my team kicked the shit out of me and beat the ghost out of me, and yeah, that happened there.
And Farron, just eyes wide, is just eating it up. And after this ghost, did you fight anything else? What else happened, Caelum?
There were some cave fishers, and Gwen said that I got yeeted.
And Mugwort just kind of laughs to himself when you say that you got yeeted, and you can see that Prescott has a little bit of a smirk play across his face.
And then Blake threw like this firebomb into the pit, and there's like this big explosion, and then there were like cavefish parts everywhere, and it was kind of gross. And we got a puppy, and it's not a puppy anymore. Centaur's real.
And Elisharis just looks at you like, wait, what? And Farron also just, wait, what? They all just look at you with this incredulous, like, they don't know where this is coming from, but they're willing to hear you out, at least. But Prescott is very much just, you realize that's for children, right? Like, he's not a legitimate...
No. He stopped time while we were fighting this giant ooze, and he whisked Blake and I away, and he apparently whisked away Gwen and Cori, and we were in another plane of existence.
Cori is going to plaintively put a hand on Caelum's shoulder and just be like, he doesn't believe.
I went blind.
And Farron just, wait, okay, so hold up. Other plane of existence, Centaur's real, which I'm sorry, I just don't believe you on that one. And you went blind, but you can see now.
I got better.
Got better.
And Mugwort just sets his mug down and just, oh, how do you cure this blindness overnight?
Well, it was, So it was this alcohol that I tried, and it was really bad and really gross.
Moon wax.
And I slowly went blind, and so I kind of slept it off, and then I healed myself with lesser restoration.
That's very impressive. Don't drink that moon wax.
No,
No,
never again.
It's, well, one, you're drinking now, new, and two, was that like your first drink?
I had ale before.
Okay.
It was a jump, I know, but like, you know, it'd be adventurous. That's what I went out to do.
He's trying new things. I'd rather he did it with the party than out somewhere else.
No, that's a very fair point. And speaking of this party, your friend Gwen still part of this party?
Cori's going to look around. Oh, where did she go? Oh,
She's taking care of some payment for us.
Oh, well, if you see her, before I do, tell her I say hello. And Farron just kind of looks at Mugwort and then looks back. He's found himself to be a little smitten after the encounter that they seem to have exchanged previously. Don't worry about it. He's a fine guy, right? Mugwort nods.
And last week we went to a brothel.
And at that, Prescott will slow head turn towards you, and Elisharis will also kind of slow head turn towards you and just, oh? And
Oh,
how
he didn't
was
do
that?
anything.
So the really nice half-elf lady put me to sleep.
And there's just
He didn't do
hands
anything.
covering mouths.
Yeah, no, like Cori's gonna like put an arm around him, just like he didn't do anything. Don't worry, I made sure.
Well, he's free to make his own choices, even if they
Yes,
are.
he is.
So
And I'm very supportive of them.
well, I'm glad. I'm glad he has friends who are supportive, who are as supportive as you. You all sound like you've been through a hell of a journey. Did you have an easy time actually getting over here?
Caelum gets this 1,000-yard stare as he remembers everything.
The six-fingered tiefling and the ogre and the ooblex. That's what it was called, right?
There was a shambling mound and a
yes,
manticore.
I wasn't even here for that part. Oh yeah, pirates. I went to the moon briefly.
Prescott
By the
just,
way,
oh,
praise
come
to
the
Elistray.
fuck on. You went to the moon. Santar's real. I think you've all been getting into this moon wax a little bit too frequently.
Now that may be true. But so is the story.
Yeah, sure. Look, I'm going to go buy some arcane components. You all have a good rest of your evening.
Prescott, wait, hold on. They think the world's flat.
You don't?
What? No!
Well, we don't think it's flat anymore.
Well,
Out of everyone.
why not? Like, okay, give me one solid reason how this world is, what, a square? Is that what you think it is?
No, they said it was
Octagon, some kind of dodecahedron?
No, I think round. The world's round.
Prove it. Show me this. If you can prove to me that your claim that this world is round theory is correct, I'll believe it. But right now, you've just told me you've been to the moon. You've what?
Cori will draw her
Killed a
sword.
ghost,
Uh-oh.
and
This is Moonlight's Edge. And she'll just like jam it into the table. It was given to me by Elistray herself.
and he kind of leans into you and just says, "Are you sure? Or are you getting into the moon wax as well?" Now,
She's
if
going
you'll
to-
excuse me.
She's going to cork an eyebrow, and then she's going to use a charge on Moonlight's Edge to cast, for it to shed moonlight everywhere.
No shit. Okay. And Prescott kind of has to like raise his hands up over his eyes so that way he's not blinded from leaning in, being super snarky.
Yep. Her hair is doing like the moonfire thing.
Oh yeah. No, and like Elisharis, Farron, and Mugwort are all just eyes wide, and you can see that there are a bunch of other individuals in this bar as well that have taken notice of you. As you just become this beacon of light in an otherwise dimly lit tavern. Gwen, make a perception check.
Okay.
From around Cori, Caelum like jazz hands. Ta-da!
And she's going to cork her eyebrow again at Prescott and say, "It's round."
He just looks at you and just... I am going to go and buy my arcane things away from here. Coriander. And he just turns and leaves.
Caelum, didn't you have a bet?
Yeah, but I don't like where I am in that song.
Okay.
That's a bad place to be in that song.
Then we'll get you in another one. Shouldn't be a problem.
Ernest, thank you for the subscribe.
You the subscription.
Wait, I just show.
Wait, okay, so take a seat, Hot here. So you were saying that the world is round. You've been to the moon.
Coriander's been to the moon.
And how? You said that you spoke with a god?
Oh, that's right. Elistray, well, she summoned Oliviette and I to go to the moon and tell us about the end of the world and how we are to go about preventing it, etc., etc.
And at that, Farron just, well, good for you. I honestly didn't think that, I mean, the world seems kind of fine right now, the way that it is.
For now, but, you know, when the Dark Star lands, we'll see where we go.
The what? And Elisharis is also, the what? And Mugwort just, his eyes get big and he just continues to drink.
Well, the Dark Star, Cori says, and like kind of looks at Caelum for help to explain this.
So, from what I remember hearing from what Coriander said, the Dark Star is like behind the moon, and the moon elves are trying to keep it at bay, but then it's sort of trying to break through, and it's made up of worms.
Yes, it might be made of worms. I'm not sure of that, but it could be. And a giant worm ape knocked me out while I was on the moon, and I nearly died.
You what?
Well, you know, Oliviette was there, so I was fine.
And when you say that, Elisharis just, the boat captain?
Yes. You know her?
Well, most people know her if you spend time in port long enough. She's got a rakish attitude, but she does business fine.
That's right. And now she's a paladin of Elistray.
She found religion.
And Elisharis just kind of shakes her head, takes a drink from her cup.
Blake joins her.
It's been a long month.
This sounds like exactly what you wanted.
Yeah.
In the weirdest way. It does seem like you have a problem of, as your friend Gwen described it, getting yeeted. But other than that, maybe just have somebody watch your back more often than not.
I mean, I've got these guys and Gwen, wherever she is.
Yes, I'm sure wherever she is, she's fine. And you see Mugwort just kind of like lean over to the side a little bit and just, she's right down there. And like, what? You guys can see kind of farther off in the distance, in the bar on the bottom floor, sitting around Oliviette's men, is Gwen, who has just been drinking water, I believe, at this point.
Cam like slams his hands on the table. What?
I mean,
she does
not want to come up to the table. That is fine by me.
She has been acting strange lately.
Well, what do you mean strange?
She's just not herself. She doesn't seem to want to fight or drink or anything that she usually does.
Is she dying?
I hope not.
Well, technically speaking, we're all dying, just at slower rates. Sorry.
And Elishar is just, no, that's actually true. If you think about it, most things die. The only things that don't really are stones and, well, you know, the sun. The sun's never going to die.
Yes.
Caelum, you look like you have something you're trying to say.
No, RJ is laughing.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I mean, when you think about it, things don't necessarily die, they just become other things. There's a season for everything.
It's true.
Oh no.
Cori just looks wistfully off into the middle distance.
The deep inhale of an oncoming musical number. And that is when we will switch over to Gwen, who is currently enjoying a glass of water with Olivia's crew. And right now it is the two humans and Bristlebeak, as the first mate and Oliviette are not yet accounted for. Cybra is also near you, and you saw... you didn't actually see Cori firing off her moon sword, but you did end up seeing Prescott kind of hurriedly walking out looking for arcane materials.
Okay. Gwen is just going to be sitting around, just keeping an eye on their table a little bit, mostly like just making sure that there aren't any like super sketchy people in this bar, like kind of sizing people up.
Okay. Make a perception check as you go to size people up around the bar.
Okay. That's a 7.
Okay. You're pretty sure you're spotting some shady individuals, but it also might just be that there are two gnomes in this bar, and your prejudices are playing a little bit heavy. And so you're just kind of like looking at them, making sure that they're not up to any kind of funny business. But other than that, you don't actually see any other any kind of shady activity going on for the most part.
Okay. Yeah, she'll just be drinking or water, you know. That's it.
Yeah, fair enough. And are you just going to be drinking water around these crewmen?
Yeah, if they want to chat, she'll chat. But for the most part, she's just kind of being quiet, waiting for the group to leave, basically, at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you other three, what is your current plan? Are you planning on heading out past the bar or before Oliviette comes back, or are you just going to be hanging around until then?
How much gold do I have? I kind of want to upgrade my gear, but I don't think Nope.
I'd like to wait on Olivia first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, my plan is to wait on Oliviette.
Okay. Yeah, so about 3 hours in the bar go by, and over this time you just kind of get to know the new member of Off Constantly a little bit more, as well as kind of catch up on what Farron, Mugwort, and Prescott have been up to. And Prescott doesn't end up coming back. He seems to have just kind of taken the day to himself, rather than deal with all of these round-earthers and moon travelers. And what you end up hearing in their story is that they were originally hired on with the Keshan Trade Company, which operates all along this coastline, as well as travels out deeper into the ocean itself, doing frequent business with the Isles of Alestria. And on this same boat that Off Constantly had actually gotten hired onto, there was a separate member of the crew, Elisharis, who ended up becoming a very valuable asset to them during their travels, as they had to deal with pirates, as well as apparently there was a problem with these creatures that they describe as Sahugan, that had come up and caused a real issue with their ship. And there seemed to have been a rather large fish folk who, in Aquan, a language that Prescott was able to understand, actually described itself as the King of the Marrow. They were able to deal post-handedly with this Marrow King as well as all of these other Sahuagin, and during that fight, this cleric was actually able to provide them healing as well as backup through their travel. So they decided once they reached the mainland to see about, or to ask her into their crew, and she gladly accepted, considering it a good move on her behalf to be around strong individuals, so that way she's not just a cleric wandering alone by herself out in the world. Even though Lathander's light shines upon us all, it's still nice to have a wizard, a ranger, and a fighter there to back you up. And so, yeah, you guys enjoy your time spent there until eventually you see the doors kind of thrown open and in walk Oliviette and Dalcor. And Oliviette takes a quick survey of the area as she walks in and notices Gwen sitting amongst her men, and so she comes up and actually approaches you, Gwen. Just
What's up, Captain?
Greetings, Gwen. So, where your friends are all here, or are you just waiting and they are going out doing something else?
And she'll just point over there, right over there.
She just sort of waves off to the group of you.
That's right. And when she looks up, sorry, Frankie's just been fed.
That is Greybeard's cat now. Inside of the Greyboar Tavern is
even though Greybeard's terrified of Frankie.
When Oliviette looks up, Coriander is like got her chin in her hand, and she's talking like very close to Elisharis, and just like saying something along the lines of like, taking down the Marrow King. Well, that's very impressive. We fought something akin to that, and it very nearly killed Caelum. We were all very worried about him, just chatting. But
I got yeeted there too.
That was the original yeet.
And Elisharis just kind of laughs to herself as you tell the story of Caelum getting yeeted into, or yoinked essentially into the ocean by this Marrow King.
That's right.
So you guys fought.
Was it a Marrow?
Yeah, you guys had fought a Marrow. It was a Sahuagin, a couple Sahuagin in a cave, and then a Marrow ended up being the big bad.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, that's what Oliviette sees is Coriander talking to a pretty girl, and pretty girl is laughing.
That's fair. And Oliviette just kind of like just continues as normal. If she sees you, recognize it all. But then just looks back to you, Gwen, and says, so are you, I can either give you the payment for the ship in all one bag, or I can give it to you in 4 separate payments. One for each of you, or if you would like to collect it all as one party fund, you can.
Well, I mean, we could probably like divvy it up later. I don't want to be throwing around gold out here.
That is fair. Do you know where you're staying?
I assumed that they were going to handle that.
That is fair. Well, have a good rest of your day. If you'd like, I'm just going to give this bag to your friends up there, considering there's more of them. But feel free to enjoy some drinks. If you want to drink with me, I will be down after.
Whatever. She pulls out a deck of cards and she just starts putting them down.
And when you do that, Bristlebeak actually gets really excited as you remember that he was the one who had brought out the deck of cards underneath the deck of the ship. And so Olivia begins making her way towards the rest of you. And when she shows up, she just kind of on her rapier casually, on the hilt of it, just walks up and says, so, I have had a successful trade deal. I have sold off the ships that we were able to commandeer. And as thanks, I would like to give you all your share of the payment. Now, before I give it, I asked Gwen the same thing. Do you want it broken up into 4 individual payments or one large payment?
4. Yeah.
Well, it might be good to actually start a collective pool for party funds.
True. Who's gonna hold it all?
For business expenses. Yeah, we might need to find like a pack specifically for that. At least until we find a base of operations.
All right. Well, group consensus?
1 bag.
For now.
And Olivia actually reaches into a saddlebag that she has been wearing and pulls out a pretty hefty looking sack of gold and sets it down onto the table between your lot. And she says, all right, so broke it up. It was originally 2,000 gold for the entire turning in of the ship, but we had to break it down for members of my crew as well as you all, considering that we each took equal part in the capturing of this ship. So count it out if you like. I've already had it checked with the dwarfs and with the kobolds. It is going to be 725 gold pieces.
Huh.
And was that in addition to the bounty on the pirates?
The bounty on the pirates.
25 ahead per.
Yes, so you will each be getting another 20 gold pieces.
775.
65.
65. Yes. Wasn't it 755?
It is 725 currently.
Okay.
You're going to be getting 20 more gold per person. So you end up having a total of 805.
Okay.
As you can see, being on the ocean is actually quite profitable. It's one of the reasons I always stay out there. But, Cori, if you are still interested in meditating this evening, I am going to be sleeping on my ship. Otherwise, it was good sailing with you. And I'll be talking to all of you more in the next coming days to find out where we go from here with our moon issue.
Yeah.
Certainly. I'll see you tonight, and we will probably have to talk about how we're going to be leaving this island once we're done here.
Of course. She just kind of gives you a quick bow, and then she'll turn and walk out. And you see her, or walk away from you guys, and then she'll go next to where Gwen is sitting, and she'll order a few rounds of drinks for her men, as well as Gwen, if you would like to have any kind of booze at her expense.
I think she'll just like, that's nice, but no, I'm good.
Suit yourself. Always made me a better card player. And then she continues to drink, and Bristlebeak will deal her in with your deck of cards if you so let him.
Yeah. Sure. Play a game of I don't know the lands here.
Dragon Ante.
3 dragon ante.
Yeah, there you go. I don't have any dice, otherwise we played liar's dice.
It's true.
Mhm.
All right. So, yeah, you guys have now been paid handsomely for capturing a ship out at sea as well as a group of pirates. What would you guys like to do now?
Farron, when's the tournament?
Well, we should have at least another 60 days.
Okay.
End of winter, right?
Yes, the end of winter. As that's when the new year starts, as soon as the snow finishes its thaw.
Yeah, that's it. We'll just drink and chat.
Are you all looking for work here on the Isle? Or are you
That's
just
not
passing through?
both. If there's work to be done, then I don't see any hurt in doing it. We are trying to become something of a company.
It's fair enough. Well, if you are interested, there's a woman who lives out on the beach. Her name is Agatha. She's always willing to help out adventuring types.
What does she do?
Well, most would describe her as a beach bum, but she just lives in a small shack. She manages to go fishing. She's a really good source of any herbs or other kinds of rare plants that you need found. She also has an oddity of, well, magical items if you're interested in that sort of thing, but not very many. She tends to keep mostly to herself.
Never underestimate the wisdom of the hermit.
I should say so. We've talked to her a few times. She has there's a problem with a lot of bird people that I don't really see ourselves taking care of. But
Bird people?
yes,
Like,
they call themselves the Tenga.
go on.
That's really all that I know. They're a bunch of flying pirate assholes. They live.
That sounds very familiar.
Does it?
It does, actually. We met some pirate parrots on the way over. Sort of a your money or your life type of folk. What was it again? Pay or die?
They chose die.
And the mugwort just says, well, I assume they chose die if all of you are still standing here.
Well, if Blake ever has anything to say about it, any flying creature that tries to escape usually chooses to die.
No sense and all that.
And Elishar is just noted. That's intense. But no, Agatha's she's very nice. She tries to pay handsomely for anything that people end up doing for her. She is a bit odd, so most people get not really that well inclined to go and seek her out. Has a slight hint of fey about her. But other than
I mean,
I'm not one to judge. But I would say that if you are looking for a quick turnaround with trying to get money, that she's probably your best bet.
All right.
I would like to insight check this.
Sure. What are you?
She's
trying to
human,
answer?
right?
She is a human.
All right. No, that makes sense.
Caelum, like,
That's 20.
ooh,
All right.
Ooh.
get it.
Thank you, Concert 20.
Oh, it's that dice. The good one.
It's always that die.
All right. So, what are you trying to gain from what she has said?
Is she first off, this woman is fey and has quick turnaround. We knew a tiefling that gave us some quick turnaround on money. Is she trying to mislead us, or is she not telling us everything?
She.
What is a cloud to this silver lining?
So the cloud on this silver lining, from what you can guess, is that it looks like, or it would appear that maybe Elisharis isn't telling you everything that she knows about this individual, but it might just be a form of reservation. Like, you can tell that she's trying to skirt around some of the things describing this woman, but it doesn't look like, even with the skirting, there doesn't seem to be any malicious intent about it. You might suspect that this is more of a means of maintaining a sense of normalcy in terms of social speaking. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so she, if you would like, she will give you directions to Agatha's.
Yeah, Coriander will take directions.
All right. And you find out that her shack is located about 2 hours away from the city, winding down a series of steps that are kind of worked into the stone of the cliff sides that are around Arathsk. And based on what you've been told, these switchbacks have actually been carved out by the kobolds to make it easier for larger humanoid races to actually walk to and fro from the shoreline.
Alrighty.
Caelum's gonna lean over the railing and shout at Gwen. Gwen, we're gonna go kick some ass!
Cool.
Guys, I think Gwen's
just
dying.
Not acting normal.
All right, so
Did you want to go get some better equipment first, Caelum?
Kind of jingles his pouch and thinks about prices. I think I'll be fine for now. Yeah, I've got spears and this thing with the snakehead staff.
Well, I mean, we just got a significant payment, and that's sort of what party funds would be for.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
we're supposed to save it for the keep, right?
Well, we are.
I mean, you have to think of it this way. It's a tool for acquiring more funds for the keep. It's an investment. It'll pay back.
We'd rather pay for armor than a funeral.
Precisely.
Hmm.
Plus, I don't know how to give a funeral. We have to keep you alive.
Exactly.
That's really dark.
Just like silent grinning.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It's the middle of the day.
No, I think I'll be fine for now. Maybe we can outfit everyone with at least one healing potion. That way I'm not split too much.
Yes.
That's not a bad idea.
So Gwen has like picked up all of her cards and like said goodbye to everyone, and she's just kind of standing like with her pack and everything behind the guy, is like waiting because we're gonna go. You said we're gonna go.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Gwen.
Okay.
Stop.
Hello, Gwen.
Ruh-roh.
Hi, dude.
Bye, guys.
Bye, dude.
It was good seeing you. She'll come around. And Farron just, I'm sure she will. Just very large eyebrow raise. And then you hear Mugwort kind of, well, what's that supposed to mean? And they seem to be get back into the bickering bout that you guys had actually left them in hours ago, as Elisharis just sort of giggles to herself watching these two bicker. And so you guys make your way out of Greyboar's Tavern. It seems like Oliviette picked up the tab for all of your drinks after a successful trip to, you just made her a bunch of money. What's a few gold between friends? So yeah, you guys are now standing outside of Grey Boar's Tavern. What would you like to do? Go and find the potion shop?
Find a potion shop.
What time is it also?
At this point, it is roughly late afternoon. You know that you still have a few hours left until an early evening sets in, but right now there is just a... you can see that the sun is beginning to set. But the temperature is extremely nice. It's in the mid-70s. There seems to be a very gentle, warm breeze that rolls through with the smell of sweet flowers kind of as a after trail on the wind. It's otherwise a very colorful city street.
Quick housekeeping question.
Yes.
Is Blake keeping track of party funds?
I would like to, yes.
I think that's... I volunteer Blake as tribute to keep track of party funds.
Give the dragon the hoard. Everything will be fine.
What's the worst that could happen?
I feel I feel like he's the best option. He's a good...
He's the most sensible with coin so far.
Yes. Yeah, well, and like, you know, Caelum would be like, you know, second like runner up, but like Caelum's already the lore keeper. So
What are you saying, Cori?
What is Cori saying? Cori has said nothing except for Caelum. What did you have in mind for your armor? Or any new equipment?
Well, this scale mail is really good, but it's sort of seen a lot.
That's true. We've had to get it mended several times.
Yeah.
What is this, scale mail?
Yes.
Perhaps we could even get you a new shield.
No on that one. That's a solid nope from me.
Okay, it was worth a try. Scale mail, though. Were you looking for some more scale mail or something better?
Maybe something better, but I remember trying to buy something like a breastplate when I was with Farron, and that was like 400 gold.
Well, about that, I've been thinking, and my father dabbles in a lot of different things. I was wondering if we could contact him and see if he'd be willing to outfit us. We'd, send him some money to pay for all of the materials, of course, because Mother simply doesn't give him a big enough allowance for that sort of thing. But
of course he gets an allowance.
Papa needs fun money.
But that's something that's on the table.
Well, we'd have to find a fairy ring first, and...
That's true. I figure we're probably going to have to save up for this to begin with. I've got my eye on some plate, and that is quite a pretty penny.
Yeah,
Quite
okay.
a pretty copper.
We can try it out.
All right. So while we're on this topic of conversation, is anybody else interested in some sort of upgrade to their equipment? I promise, Faymade is really metal. It's really good. You might like it.
Is it magic?
I mean, it could be. It depends on how much money we send him. Or unless, of course, you don't like magic, then it doesn't have to be.
Ever since my growth spurt, I've sort of just not felt right in armor.
Not felt right in armor. Well, how about your crossbow?
Seems to be doing all right.
If he does magic, maybe something that makes me a little bit, less clumsy, because things are sort of weird in heavy armor when you have 2 left feet and thumbs for hands.
That's fair. He might be willing to get out the knitting needles and see if there's something he could do there. Cori kind of just wanders through the streets, stroking her chin, making plans and dreaming dreams.
All the while, we are looking for a potion shop.
Okay. So make a investigation shot or an investigation check.
Is somebody helping me?
Yeah, sure.
You don't want me to help you.
I need somebody to help me because that first one was a natural 1.
Ooh.
21.
Okay.
21?
Yeah, so with a 21, you guys find your way to a market district in this area, or at least what you would assume to be a market district. You can see that there is a significant lack of residential housing, and a lot of it just turns into shop spaces. And going around a corner, you see along this string of other shops what looks to be a vibrant green, brightly colored shop that looks like it has a wooden hanging sign in the shape of a cauldron, and on it says Calder's Concoctions.
Why didn't they call it Calder's Cauldrons? It's better alliteration.
Well, he doesn't sell cauldrons, he sells concoctions.
True.
Potion seller?
Give me your strongest
No.
potion.
No, that is canceled. We are not doing that. Big ol' X.
Potion Man. Choppity. Yeah, so you end up going into this store, and as you do, you can see that there are glass cases that are set out to create these little mini aisles, almost like you would expect from a jewelry store. But inside each of these glass containers are just different potions that seem to be set up on display. And you see that there is, near each of these potions, a small reminder card that just says, "This is a display unit. Do not lean on the glass. These are not real potions." And that is what it says on the little infographic card. And as you browse through the shop and open up the door, you can hear what sounds like a jingling bell off in the back of this building. And when after a couple of minutes, you see that there is what looks to be a dusty blue-skinned humanoid figure that opens up the door, and you can see that where there would normally be hair on the top of their head is just these very low-burning flames that seem to be licking off of them. And you see that this figure has a very thick apron on in the front, very thick gloves that you can see have that 3 of the fingers are just one large mitten finger, and then there is a thumb and forefinger, almost like it would be used for tongs or glass blowing, that kind of manufacturing, with these thick goggles on. And eventually this figure kind of raises the goggles up, and you can see that they have what look to be just very kind of pale blue eyes, and they say, "Hello, it's nice to meet you." And they have a very kind of well-groomed goatee.
Has Gwen ever seen something like this before?
Gwen has. You've
Okay,
seen you met a figure like this one on the road. The traveling baker Fierette. But this seems to be
pumpkin bread.
Yes, who made the pumpkin breads. This figure just seems like they are a fire genasi, but you see that they are blue instead of red.
The other one had their hair on fire, right?
Yeah, the other one had their hair on fire, just kind of pulled back into a bun that was kept there with stone rings.
Gwen's just gonna stare.
You must be the titular Calder.
I am indeed. Welcome to Calder's Concoctions. What can I do for you fine customers today?
Oh, we were looking to buy some healing potions, if you happen to have any in stock.
Healing potions, yes. I'm glad you said those ones. Those are actually very easy to come by. Or at least the materials in order to craft. The weather here is always perfect, so you can kind of just grow whatever you want year-round. And he pulls out, he takes the large gloves that he has, off so that way he can just have his regular fingers. And he goes over to a ledger and kind of opens it up and looks down and says, all right, healing potions. What kind? We have our standard, we have rare, supreme, super mega. What are you trying to get here?
I don't know for sure. What does everyone else think?
I was thinking full standard just to get started off.
That's totally acceptable. I definitely have 4. Can I get you anything else? Are you looking for you're looking for a potion of levitate? Maybe you're looking a potion of invisibility. We sell all sorts of things.
I think the potion's a healing for now, because, well, it's good to be prepared, but I don't think funding would let us get anything else, right?
That's fair. We also do offer books if you're interested in learning the process of potion making. I, for one, believe that rather than having a market on potions in this town myself, everybody would be a little bit better if we all knew a small bit of botany.
Blink's glowing yellow eyes are just like lighting up a little bit more.
Caelum is also perked like, books, you say?
And he just looks down. Can I help you with something?
I'm sorry. You're the second one of you I've met, and the first one had their fire pulled back. How does it work?
Well, and you see him just kind of rifle forward. What we have here is a small strand of flame. It functions similar to hair, however, and he kind of plucks it from his head, and as he does, you see that the flame just kind of dissipates out, puts his hand out, and it's just ash. It only works when it's on our bodies.
Huh. Cool, dude. Cool. She kind of backs up.
You wouldn't happen to take requests for custom orders, would you?
I would. Those custom orders are going to be cheaper if I don't have to find the parts myself. But I suppose I could start looking into something.
Okay. Well, let's get all of this squared away, and then I'll want to talk to you.
All right.
Privately for a moment.
Yes, of course. And so he is willing to sell you these 4 potions for market price out of the player's handbook.
DM, tell me.
50 gold pieces a piece?
I could chip in 50.
I'll put down 50.
50.
Oh, no, not Electrum. Get this shit out of here.
That's not a real currency.
It is on Wednesdays.
All right, so we're all paying from our own pockets?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For now.
Potion of healing.
Add it to the...
It's the one that's 2d4 plus 2, correct?
Yeah. Thank you, dice bottles.
Yes. Dice bottles.
Yes. Now, if you are looking for books on potion making as well, we have a very basic guide to local herbs and how they kind of play along with each other to make, well, more rustic kinds of potions and salves, or we have a more widespread one. The widespread one is going to be a little bit more expensive, but well, it's going to cover most, not most all plants, but a pretty decent chunk. It's a rather large book.
We can go 50-50 on it.
We can go 50-50 on it.
How much?
That book would be 30 gold pieces.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Having money is so nice. Sorry.
And if you would like, I can throw in the more beginner guide for 15 gold, since you've already purchased the other, and have also purchased potions.
Yeah. Yeah, Caelum will fork over another 15. Books.
Do you have any potions that do something like make you stronger?
Those are very hard to come by, but we do have potions that do make you stronger. The only difficult part is, well, we've had to figure out other means for how these potions work. Because normally, historically speaking, from a mixologist's perspective, we needed the toenail clippings of giants. Oh, I don't know about you, but giants are very, very few and hard to come by. Have been for the last 1,500 years, something like that. So, we've had to begin just mixing plants and hoping for the best. I'm in the process of trying to find a replacement now that's suitable without needing the toenail of a giant mixed in, but it's a process.
Are you saying that if one was to kill a giant, their body would be worth a lot?
Oh yeah, no, like a lot.
Okay.
Not giant folk. It has to be a specific giant. Unless you can bring me a giant folk toenail and I can see about making it work.
You mean like Goliaths, or you mean like...
Well, there are like cyclopses that sail around the waters around the island somewhere off. There are...
Guys! Do we still have that cyclops?
No.
Oh shit, I threw it in the water. God damn it.
Did you at least get some of the toes?
No.
Now we're both disappointed.
Well, we'll
Oh,
remember that for next time.
We'll remember that for next
But
time.
again, giant folk toes or toenails, depending. The toenail is the more humane option, but they really don't like it when you get that close to their feet, and we would show you that interaction, but we can't because it's Twitch. So,
what?
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 I've been drinking a lot of my own potions lately. I know I shouldn't, but it's fun. Somebody
you
has
shouldn't
to
be
test
high
them.
on your own supply, sir.
Somebody has to test them. Now,
Fair enough.
is there anything else I can get you wonderful customers?
Blake senses a disturbance in the force. But no.
All right, well, just remember, tell your friends, Calder's Concoctions is where you can find all of the potions to fit your needs. If you don't mind, I'm in the middle of working on something in the back, so enjoy your day, have a good stay, and hopefully I'll see you again. And then he just walks off and heads towards the back.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did have a question about the custom order.
And he turns around, just, yes, custom order.
Is it possible to make a potion that would suppress emotion?
Yes.
Okay. How long would it take to make something like that, and what sort of price are we looking at here?
Well, I think I have a general idea of what you're looking for. I would need to talk to one of my cleric friends to find out the components that they normally use for the spell that would do that. It would probably end up running you closer to 500 gold?
500 gold. Okay. Not right now, but I will be in contact with you later.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Well, you'll know where to find me. And again, you all have a wonderful day.
You as well. Cori turns around, smiles to her friends, continues.
Now.
I guess we go talk to the lady on the beach, Agatha.
Agatha.
Who?
Oh, so when we were
We have
talking
a
to
lead.
Farron, we have a lead on job. Yeah.
We just made a bunch of money, though.
More money?
Okay.
We just spent some money.
Spent some money.
Yeah.
That's Unfortunately, that's sort of what a job is like. You just don't stop.
Or you just take it. She kind of says to herself. So
We are heading to the beach.
All right. And as you guys begin to head towards the beach, Gwen, Cybra has been following you pretty closely throughout most of your adventure into the Isle, and you actually see that she will come up to you and lower herself a little bit, and just kind of like stop and look at you. Then,
like play bow?
no, she kind of just like lowers her front half and just kind of motions with her head towards the back.
She's gonna lean up to her. What is it? What is it, girl? What do you see?
She licks the side of your face and then turns and kind of like lowers herself again.
I give her squishes on the back. I don't know what she wants, guys. She's being all weird.
Cori, could you?
Oh, to talk to it? Talk to Cybra? I mean, I can do that. Cybra, what do you want?
And you just hear, or because you communicate via feelings and long looks, right?
That's right.
Yes. So that is the way that you did it, and you see the look in Cybra's eyes, like there is a moment of kindness that she wishes to share, and you see that she is trying to get Gwen to get a hold onto her back.
Oh, I see. Okay. Coriander just turns around, picks up Gwen, puts her on Cybra.
Don't! And she's gonna like squirm.
But
Gwen's kind of just like, what is happening?
And Cybra does not like throw you off of her back or anything.
Is this happening? Is this for real? She like as they're walking. Oh my god.
I think we need to buy another saddle.
Or armor.
Ooh, barding.
And Gwen's just gonna lay down on her neck and just like become engrossed in her fur a little bit.
Yeah, and you can just feel her shoulder blades moving as she continues to walk forward, but she has let you ride her.
Gwen is internally so happy.
All right, so you guys are making your way to Agatha's house. And the entire trip does take you a while, and you guys kind of discuss the plans for how you are going to be spending your money. And if you do decide to take up barding for Cybra, whether it would be more combat oriented or if it would be more of a riding situation, specifically seeing as how she has let Gwen hop onto her back to continue moving. And you see that Cybra is a little encumbered from Gwen at first, but then as you guys continue to walk, she grows into it and is able to walk easier now that she has this halfling on her back. And as you guys go out into at the bottom of this long set of switchbacks, you finally make it out onto the beach. And kind of following the direction that has been given to you to Agatha's house, you begin to continue along this beach until you see off in the distance what looks to be a small shack. And that shack is roughly about 15 feet in diameter. It just looks very small. You can see that there is a wooden porch that has kind of been built onto the front of it. And the thing that really stands out for the lot of you is that there are what look to be 4 large orangish mounds that almost look like rocks that protrude from the right and left sides of this small shack, barely out of the sand itself. And you see that there is a woman that has very deep green hair and kind of hunched over this large fish that is currently on the deck of her building, and she has a knife out and is currently just gutting this fish. And that is where we are going to go into our first break of the evening. So I wanted to say thank you to all of you wonderful players for coming back week after week. LB, I'm really glad that we got to give you the Ghost and Gwen picture. It was very fun.
Yeah, I love it so much.
I wanted to say thank you to, because we got some new followers. Thank you to Ernas, who subscribed and then followed, and then thank you to Savrik for the follow as well. You guys are
Thanks,
rad.
Sav.
For all you subscribers who are doing it either through the love of your own wallets or through Twitch Prime, you can actually link up your Twitch and your Discord to hop into our Discord, which is a super fun place full of really cool people. But we are going to go on a 5 to 10 minute break, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, bring them on back, and we will be right there with you guys. So until next time, all right, everybody. Break time! Hello, everybody, and
Wow. Wow, come down.
What?
They're selling stuff in the in-store adventurers.
What? What are they selling?
They're selling t-shirts.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Indoor adventurers. I remember when they first started indoor adventurers. Sweet, sweet indoor adventurers. I always hated it.
To be fair, the first few episodes of our series did fall prey to the beguilings of the Twitch witch, and our audio wasn't as great as it is now. So, hello everybody, and welcome back from the break. If you are interested in where to find these in-store adventures that Danae and Cyberwolf both talked to us about, you can find that in the description of the video below, where you can find some awesome t-shirts as well as mugs, hoodies, long sleeves, crop tops for ultimate thought power, as Kyle with an N likes to describe them. They are a lot of really good stuff. I made sure that it was high enough quality that you guys would be able to enjoy it as well. And you can also find posters of the art stuff that we like to have in our channel as well. So, if you
But not this one. This one's mine.
Yeah, that one's LB's. I don't know if we would ever put that up. It's a special limited edition, one only. So, you guys have walked onto the beach leading up to Agatha's house. You see that it is a small shack, and this woman with deep seaweed green hair is currently cutting into a large fish that she has on the front porch of her house. She has her back to you as you guys approach. Just raises her hand and brings this knife down with a kind of sickening squelch noise as she just begins cutting through the meat.
So I had been told that this was some sort of Fey heritage individual.
Yes.
Am I recognizing the distinctive type of Fey?
Make a history check or arcana check with advantage.
7.
Okay.
I rolled 7 and a natural 1.
You know that Fey creatures like to disguise themselves, so it could be anything, except Santor, because he seemed like a pretty busy guy.
Hello.
And the knife just kind of stops. And this figure turns around, and you can see that they have what looks to be kind of a longer jaw, a little bit of an underbite. Their nose is kind of comes out and is hooked a little bit, and they just have the very wet Steve Buscemi eyes. And she looks at you and just, "What is it? What do you want?"
Coriander's just like waving full armed from a distance.
Waves over at you, and then you see her like take the bottom part of this tattered shirt that she is wearing and just starts wiping the blood off of her knife onto it, and begins walking over to the group. Yes, what can I help you with?
Yes, hello there. Are you Agatha?
Sure I am.
Right, all right. Well, we were told that you are friendly to adventurers, and that is what we are. They call us the Four Keeps, and we were just looking for any sort of adventurers work that might be, floating around.
Well, do have a little bit of adventurer work if you're looking for it. I can pay pretty handedly. Just depends on what you want to do. Are you interested in fighting a bunch of bird people?
Cori looks to everyone else.
Do you have a boat? Do you have a means of sailing?
Do you mean like a ship?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, we might have a boat. If we talk to Oliviette, she might be willing to let us hitch a ride. What do you all think? Fight some birds?
What's the other options that we have?
The other option is getting rid of my annoying sister.
Like, and then Caelum draws a thumb across his throat.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Is she a witch like you?
Yeah. Just nods.
Yeah.
She's mean. She doesn't like dealing with people. Me, I come here, I put up with all of you. Not just you specifically, but also the people of the town. The kobolds, dragon, I put up with the laws. And just live on the outskirts. They let me do what I want.
Cori's gonna stare at her a little wide-eyed for a second and then do divine sense.
Okay. And what does divine sense do?
I know whether or not she's celestial, fiend, undead, or fae.
You know she is a fae creature.
She is a fae creature, like full-on fae?
Yes.
Oh my. A little far from home, are we?
Home's right where you want it to be, love. And me, this is home. I'm not that far from it, maybe 100-yard spit.
I see. Well said. Cori's gonna grab Blake. Just, Blake, over here, if you will.
Gwen's just gonna say, "What'd your sister do?"
She took something from me. And that's it. I just don't like her.
All
She's
right.
mean. Made fun of me growing up.
What a bitch.
She really is.
I can
Gwen
also
is
tell
okay
if,
with this.
I can also tell if she, like, her nature, like, her fundamental nature is good or evil.
It is neutral.
Neutral. Okay. All right. So Cori's gonna take Blake aside and just be like, okay, so she is a fae. She's not just descended from fae, she is fae.
Okay.
But she's not evil. So we have that.
How do we feel about the sister?
I don't know. I haven't seen her yet. It sounds like this is a domestic dispute. So if we don't want to get involved, there are alternatives. We can just go fight the birds.
But we don't have a boat.
Oliviette does, though.
Oliviette has a trading vessel. I don't know if that's fine to just go off and kill a group of bird people.
Oliviette is a paladin of Elistray. I think she'd be perfectly willing to help us.
I mean, if that's what you think is the right thing to do.
Cori kind of shrugs. I'm leaving it up to you as to what we should do.
We know the bird folk are causing trouble for a lot of sailors and a lot of trade.
That's true.
If the sister is also causing issues for the people of the island, then that would be the easiest thing to do. But if she's not, then we should probably go out to the bird folk.
Okay. Well, let's go and ask her then. Miss Agatha,
Yes, what is it?
is your sister a hag?
Used to be. She's a little meaner now. She's
Well,
in
like a
Caelum.
literal,
Yeah.
literally actually a hag?
Yes.
Like a sea hag?
She just kind of motions to herself.
She turns around. I've never seen a sea hag before.
Neither have I.
Cori, are you being rude right now?
She seems like she's being a little rude.
I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to be.
Is hag a derogatory term?
No.
Oh.
It's what they
Sometimes.
actually are.
If you're not a hag and you call somebody a hag, you better have a damn good reason.
Like they are a hag?
Well, no, if they're not a hag and you call them one anyway.
Right.
Then it's rude.
Right.
But yes,
Well, if you
I am a hag.
calling them...
She kind of jazz hands it out there.
I mean, I do think that it has to do with what's in your heart. If you saying it as a insult, then of course it's an insult.
And she just gives this really deep snirking sound, as you can see that she has like a booger in her nose that she's just trying to breathe in, and then she hawks a loogie off to the side.
So I suppose my opinion doesn't matter. It's only Agatha's opinion that matters on that regard. Is it okay if we call you a hag?
Yeah, it's fine. Just don't call me late for dinner.
And she kind of like goes to like slap your arm a little bit.
Quite.
So, like, you want us to kill we killed some bird things earlier. They
Oh,
tried to
good.
attack us.
Are you familiar with how to kill them?
Yeah, just stab them.
What they are is that they are sitting on a very important patch of herbs for me.
Or you?
Yeah, well, not at my discretion, but they are sitting on top of a patch of herbs that I would like to get my hands on.
So you want us to, like, kill all of them?
It'd be useful, yeah.
And she just turns and looks at the other, like, the group, like, are we cool with this?
I mean, they're pirates. They're
Yeah.
hurting people.
They're,
are.
like, sentient.
Lots of things are sentient.
We don't have to kill them. We can bring them in to face justice.
Hmm.
And for that matter, we'll probably even get a bounty.
Just so we're clear, I'm totally cool with killing all of them. I'm just making sure you guys are cool with killing all of them.
mentality I thought that you all would have, saying that you were adventurers and then coming to me with about this. But I mean, if you bring me the corpses, or at least parts of them, I could pay you, circumvent this whole having go through the city. If you're just looking for money for corpses, I can provide. Or if you're looking for something else instead of gold, if you're particular about magic or some other kind of elaborate thing, you could possibly just peruse what I have.
Ooh.
Take your pick. Always make more. It's not hard.
While we're discussing this, what about your sister?
She turned my house asleep.
Oh, I get it.
What?
RJ gets
She
it.
turned my house asleep.
She motions over to the house.
Gonna detect magic on the house.
Okay.
Wait, do I have that?
Yeah, so you have to walk up pretty close to be able to cast the detect magic. And as you are starting this process...
Well, hold on. Yeah, I do. Cool, sorry.
As you're starting the process, she just like takes a bit of sand on the ground and holds it up. and then just kind of casts it off to the side. And when she does, you see that a lot of the sand that is around these 4 orangish-looking rocks end up kind of getting blown away, and you can see that they look instead now that they've gotten some sand kind of removed from it to be what look to be almost large crustacean-like legs, or the top part of an apex where they would lay.
Can I make a nature check?
Yeah.
That's 16.
All right. With a 16, you would assume these are the legs of a giant crab.
It's a giant crab. You live on a giant crab.
Yeah, he's a hermit crab.
Ha, you're a hermit.
But she said that the dragon and the people of the island don't like her either.
Yeah, she's mean.
What's her name?
Her name is Vidna.
Vidna?
Yeah,
Is that spelled with a W or a V?
with a V.
With a V. All right. Thank you. I write that down.
And where does she live? On the island,
No,
right?
she lives off the island. She used
Oh.
to live out here, but then we got to bickering, and then she sailed away and said, fuck all this. She was going
Oh.
to go and create weird tree people herself out there. So then she did.
Oh.
Now she
Have you
lives
only-
out on her own island doing fuck all.
Have
Does
you
she
only
also
noticed
live in a
anything?
crab?
No, she doesn't live in a crab. There was only one crab, and she was mad that it decided to stay with me, so that's why she put it to sleep.
Gwen doesn't understand any of this.
petty?
Very.
All right.
So either way, we're gonna need a boat. It sounds like.
That's true. That's true.
If you go and combat my sister, I'll let you borrow mine.
You have a boat?
Yes, but be warned, it does have a mind of its own.
I see.
It used to be
Is
a troll.
it a crab? Oh.
Oh. No
So I
fire
tu-
on the boat.
No,
Got it.
So I turned it into a boat. Still gets mad sometimes.
Interesting.
And the bird people are here, right?
Yeah,
Or
they're,
are
off
they?
the island. They're on their own small area as well. Lots of islands around here.
We could do a double whammy.
It sounds to me like we'd be doing good by doing both of these things. But you know me, I want to help everyone.
Well, I know that about you now.
So did you like skin the troll?
No, it's magic. I polymorphed him.
All right. And then as soon as she says magic, Gwen just kind of zones out.
A wizard did it.
Or a hag.
Or a hag. Certainly not a warlock, though. Those out of here. Ow.
Eldritch blast.
If we would like to be contracted to do both of these, how would we be compensated?
Well, like I said, you could either take money, or I can give you some magic items. It's really up to you. I just
Would we
think
know?
You could probably
would we know-
take whatever money that they have as well. Loot the shit out of them. I don't care.
Yes, as is the adventurer's way. Would we be able to know what sort of magic items they are before we decide? You know, it doesn't matter. We'll figure that part out later. Though I would like to see the magic items before we decide whether or not we want those or the gold. Yes, everyone? Sound correct?
Thumbs up.
All right.
All right.
Well,
But let's get directions to the places of question.
And when you start looking for, or when she starts describing the directions towards you, she'll actually draw out a map as there is what looks to be some sporadic islands, and so she gives you a general direction of where you can possibly find it. Of these two islands, and they look like the location for the bird people would be about a half day's sail away, and it looks like the directions to her sister's place are about a day away.
We should start in the morning.
Yeah.
Probably not a bad idea. And honestly, when it comes down to it, this is asking to take away working hours from Oliviette. Maybe we should use the troll boat.
Do you think we'd be able to control the troll boat in order to get us to both islands?
Well, it depends on what skill we have to roll, but, you know, we can give it a go.
What?
I don't like it here.
Well, we'll do this work, and then we'll move on to go and check out that burned forest that we intended to look at. Particularly now, since it's a part of this whole world-ending business.
Yeah.
You remember?
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We're on it.
No, you said world ending. That sounds serious.
Yeah, so, well, you ever heard of the Dark Star?
No.
Corey.
Then
In space.
We'll be back tomorrow, Agatha.
All right.
I'm not very good at explaining it, so just rest assured that we're going to try and take care of it.
All right.
But, you know, just keep an eye on the moon.
She just looks up and has to block out the sun.
Caelum's like pushing Coriander, but like she has like the straight, stiff legs, so he's drawing lines in the sand.
Gwen is striding forward on Cybra, just like a king on his mount. She's like, "Good day."
Riding Bardic.
All right, so you guys are heading back into the city?
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So yeah, you guys head back, and by the time that you get back up to the city proper, it is at this point early evening. You can see that the sun actually began to fully set while you guys were on your way back up across the switchbacks. That is their name. Blah. So yeah, you guys make it back to the city streets proper. And you can see that there are a lot of lanterns that are just out hanging, allowing there to be more visible light throughout the city. And you can see that there are a few of these city guardsmen as well, these small kobolds, that are actually carrying around lanterns just on these long poles that just sort of seem to be going along their marches as well.
So we're making our way back to Greybeards,
Yes.
right?
I do believe so. And when you guys make it back to Greybeards, you can see that Oliviette's crew has cleared out, as well as it looks like the members of Off Constantly have also departed for the evening. It is kind of a later dinner rush, and you can see that there is actually a bard who is on stage. And they seem to just be playing a pretty standard sailing song that you hear has a lot of references to a large bronze dragon that you're assuming is a Rathsk.
Any particular details in the song that I pick up?
None that you are aware, other than that it seems like wherever the wingtip of the copper king touches, the most vibrant of foliage grows. And it actually begins talking about more of this dragon having a green thumb, being more of a gardener.
Okay. Buying rooms for the night.
Okay. And Greybeard is willing to sell you these rooms for 3 gold each.
Steep prices at the tavern. Damn.
2 rooms?
2 ?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
pay for one.
I mean, no room for Cori. She's gonna be on the boat.
How many beds are in the rooms?
You guys were able to get one of these rooms had a large bed, and then the other room had 2 beds.
Okay.
So I've also paid for a room.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, what is the current plan? Are you guys just heading off to bed?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sorry, Gwen doesn't. I'm sorry, I'm chewing. Gwen doesn't want the big room by herself. She doesn't need a big bed, so she'll just take one of the other beds.
Okay. Who is going into the solo room?
Probably Blake.
Sure.
She would offer it to Blake because he's bigger.
Sure.
Caelum wouldn't know what to do in such a big bed.
I am actually expecting a lady caller, so.
Sweet.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So yeah, Blake, you are taking your rest in the large bed. Cori, you are going to visit with Oliviette, and then Caelum, you and Gwen, and Cybra are all going to be bunking up in your room as well. So, Blake, you would also know that Makoth is going to be visiting you tomorrow night, as you had set for her contact to be every 2 days. And so you just got done talking with her the first time last night.
Okay.
Yep. So, Blake, you are heading off to bed, and you have a full night's rest. Cori, you are going and meeting with Oliviette. And as you make your way back onto the ship, you can see that there are the 4 kobolds that you guys had rescued from inside of an empty barrel are now all working on scrubbing and cleaning Oliviette's ship from a lot of the damages that it had accrued during the combat with the Cyclopean, as well as the other pirates that were on the Tooth Taker. And they all just seem to give you very quick waves as you come on, as they are generally excitable creatures in general. And you make your way up to Oliviette's room, and the door to the captain's quarters is open, and you can see that she is currently filling out a set of documents. And as she sees you, she kind of sets the documents down. Just, Coriander, it's nice to meet you. Here, come in. You can shut the door behind you.
Oh, certainly. Olivia, do you have any plans for tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Just continuing to fill out paperwork.
Mostly just paperwork?
Mostly paperwork.
Would it be much trouble to take the dancer out for a couple of jobs for keeps? I want to borrow her Cadillac.
Would you... I would have to... I am going to let you know this. I will be piloting the ship if this happens.
Oh, certainly, of course.
What do you need the ship for?
We just need a ride out to some islands nearby, less than a day's travel. We got some work from Agatha down on the beach, and we were hoping to go and complete those. Don't feel pressured into it at all. We have alternatives. It's just yours is the best boat I know. Ship. The best ship.
Well, I need a couple of days in port to kind of finish everything with Danzig and the trades. But after that, I'd be more than willing to ride out there. If you wish to expedite the process, you may want to find another boat, as much as it would pain me to say so. But
that's fine.
It's entirely up to you how quickly you want to get this done. It's just I'm currently in the process of finishing signing over all of the paperwork for the ship that we took, using some money to pay out the debts that the 4 new crew members seem to had accrued in the city before they tried to leave. Yes.
See. Okay.
Yes, so now they are my crewmen. I have bought them out of their service to the city. Hopefully, it is a good investment. Right now, I need some able hands.
That's perfectly fine. First and foremost, we are women of business, so we will each take care of our own companies as we need to.
We try our best. Toga is no longer going to be a member of the crew. After all of the talk of, would you like to come save the world? He just said no. Just decided to stay. Hopefully he ends up finding something more akin to what he had thought of.
I do wish him the best.
It's true.
That's the guy whose brother, friend. Okay, yeah, right. He doesn't like Blake.
No.
Okay, I just I'm keeping track of who people are.
Yes. And I am also in the process of going through a name change for the ship, to go through it and through the proper channels, through the proper ports. I figured get that done, taken care of while we are here.
You're changing the Midnight Dancer?
Yes. The Moon Runner.
Oh, that's really good.
Midnight Dancer was fine, but after meeting the woman herself, my boat is not to that standard.
I see what you mean. And Cori blushes slightly. Well, anyway, now that's taken care of, perhaps we should get started on meditations for the night.
Yes, of course. So, if you would like, I can show you the more adventurous side of the Underdark.
That sounds excellent. I am going to show you the Autumn Isles.
She just kind of smiles and says, I think I would like that. And then, so you guys begin your meditation. And then, so describe for our audience the tour that Coriander takes Olivette on during this guided meditation.
Well, first of all, she'll show her what the Autumn Isles look like just in general. And there are parts of the Autumn Isles that are just kind of like a fireworks display of red and yellow and orange leaves. And there are other parts of the Autumn Isles that are like spooky graveyard, kind of misty, like Halloween-y type stuff. She will share with her the sensation of running through the trees and the leaves coming down like confetti around you. She will share apple cider, the fields of harvest, the eternal pumpkin field, and a few adventures that she had in the Autumn Isles. One time when she got chased by a Dullahan, and it turned out that she was just on his lawn, and he wanted her not to step on his pumpkins. And how they wound up becoming friends in the end, and then now they still laugh about it. She will show her the the Caelum of Fallen Leaves, like the current Caelum of Fallen Leaves, who's an Eladrin in like really regal armor, and he like has a horse and stuff. It's like it's a black horse, but like you can see like fire inside its eyes, like it literally just blows smoke out its nose. And like basically he's the cop of the Autumn Isles, and Coriander like really looks up to him, and so she just shows her a lot of stuff going on there.
Okay. And then the trip through the Underdark that you get starts off with you being in a group of other drow as you guys continue through this long cavern until eventually it opens up, and in front of you you see that there is what looks to be a field of mushrooms. And as you kind of continue to focus, you can see that there are other mushrooms that are much larger that create canopies that seem to give way for an underbrush that is unlike anything you've seen. You can see that there are a lot of these phosphorescent fungi that are all creating a variety of lights throughout this cavern. And as you look, you can see that there are mushroom people that are moving about. It looks like at first that it is just mushrooms kind of shifting, but as your vision gets closer, you can see that they each have two little arms and hands that come off to the side, two little feet underneath, and they are moving about. And it seemed like they are going about their mushroom lives. You see that one of them has what looks to be like a larger mushroom that's kind of been hollowed out that it is using as a basket to like trade bugs to another one of these mushroom vendors. And you get a sense of looking at these as well. It kind of flashes forward a little bit to being much more up close to these creatures, and you can feel it speaking directly into your brain rather than using words to communicate. As it does this, you see others kind of extending their hands out, and what looks to be pollen comes off of the arm as it begins to shake, and then kind of falls onto this drow, and that is when the drow is able to begin communicating to this creature. You can see that there are what look to be like a weird reptilian bug-like creature that is just rearing back in another cavern as a part of a vision that you're getting taken into. And in this vision, you can see that your group is fighting very, very bravely up against that. Then it transitions again, and you see another cavern kind of opens up. And where at first you would think that this is some kind of underground sea, you can actually see that it is a field of these blue crystals that just kind of extend as far out as you can see. And you, looking down, you see that there are drow on the back of these large spiders with picks that are just kind of working into these crystalline structures. And that is the dream sequence that you get taken, is through these battles and this introduction into a new species, as well as the exploration of deeper into the Underdark.
Freaking rad.
So Gwen and Caelum, what are you guys doing?
Gwen is petting Cybra and kind of like getting down to her PJs and getting ready for bed, being kind of quiet as she has been the last day and a half.
Okay. And Caelum, are you meditating or sleeping?
Do I have to go to the library today? Just so hard to keep track of who wants what book. Did Cori want a book?
Or want
read?
She wanted you to look at adventures Coralon has had in the natural plane.
I could do that. Storybook. Yeah, Caelum's getting ready. Armor off, sleeping clothes on, undoes his hair.
Okay. All right, so you are going to be meditating then?
Yeah.
All right.
Just looks over at Gwen. Good night.
Good night.
Meditates.
Gwen gets under the covers and has Cybra next to her, and she's all warm.
Mm-hmm. Big old dog bod. All right, so, Caelum, make a investigation check as you begin to search around the library.
Hey, could I also look for some ravens if they've been hanging around my mindscape?
Yeah, you can definitely look for those as well.
Okay. So on the ravens, I got a 22.
Okay.
And for the investigation, looking for the book, 17.
Okay. So you're 22 to try and find some ravens that are hanging out. You go around the library just kind of scanning, poking your head in between the different shelves. And you actually do find that there are two of these ravens that have kind of perched up in an archway in the ceiling in one of the crenellations up there. And so they just seem to kind of be perched, leering down at you.
Do they have any gems?
They do not seem to have any gems on their person.
Loose, any, fuck. I don't know, is there something I could toss at them to get them to leave?
You have your familiar.
Just, points Moonin up. Sick 'em!
And this catbird, this Tezzeret, ends up just shooting off of your arm and begins flying, chasing these ravens. And you see that they are now just, flying around in the air.
Okay. Concentrate. Coralon.
Okay. And you said you got a 17 to find Coralon books?
Yes.
Alrighty. So you end up finding several books on Coralon, but most of them you feel are very much these are more of fables and myths rather than they are any kind of historical text or story deriving from Coralon's adventures through the material plane. You know that there is a lot of mysticism about these adventures that you have. But then when it comes down to the specifics of it, that's when the texts kind of get a lot harder to find. But you do end up finding a series of books that describe Coralon's journey and how back when he had initially traversed across the plains, that there were these primordial fae creatures that were each the embodiment of what we know the seasons now to be. And as part of Coralon's journey through the material plane, he actually had to defeat as well as kind of bind these creatures into different items to hold them.
Yeah. Caelum's just gonna do the quick hand just to remember everything, have the books all open. And when he's finished taking notes, shuts them all, turns to leave, and then walks into the room with the book to Saloon.
Yeah, and you see that the book is wide open.
Yeah, and he's just gonna chat. It's kind of rude that he's been in here and not said thank you, so I'm gonna start doing that from now on.
Okay. All right, so you thank Saloon for letting you use the library, and the response that you get is it's no problem, anytime. And then there is actually another line that comes out from underneath, and it says, "The brother contemplator would like to see you soon."
Oh, you guys know each other?
And you just see a little smiley face emerge.
Oh, okay. I'll be there tomorrow.
And it says, okay. Just okay. Another smiley.
Yeah. All right, bye. Have a good night. Late. See you. Okay.
The book just closes.
Okay.
All right. And so you then wake up from your meditation. And you still have about 4 hours left until Gwen is going to be done with her sleep cycle. as well as Blake has a good 4 hours left until he's awake as well. Yeah.
If I knew that McCarth would not be calling tonight, would I be able to just once everybody got settled, just take a walk?
Yeah. You can for sure take
just
a walk
around the city.
Okay. Make a survival check as you do, just so that way you don't get lost.
I'm using the blood die. Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, as you are walking around this city late at night, you see that there are the overall demeanor of the citizenry does not change as the night goes on. It seems like a lot of the people are still just kind of out and about, milling around doing things that they would normally be doing, just finishing up some late night shopping, going to grab a bite to eat, as well as others who are going towards the residential districts. And as you are walking around, make a perception check.
Nine.
Okay.
No. 6.
Oof. Yeah, so you see, as you are walking, you just hear, you hear a man yell out, just, "Aah!" And you look over to where the noise is coming from, and they are holding their forearm, looking down at it, just kind of eyes wide, and you see that there is a reddish colored kobold that has very large spectacles resting onto its snout, as well as is wearing just this large copper and gold robe. And it just is looking up at him and says, and just kind of like wags its finger and says,
"And now everyone will know you're a pickpocket. Good day."
And just continues moving, just continues walking along, and the dude looks at his arm, and as he does, you see that there is what looks to be a glowing rune that has been put onto his forearm.
Do I recognize this rune?
Yes, this is a rune in that you would know to be a draconic marking, and it basically means steel.
All right.
And you continue to go about the city until eventually you kind of come to a spot that's been separated out a little bit further from the inner workings of the city. This looks to be much more of like a viewpoint to be able to look out onto the coastline, and it comes as a little bit of a surprise, but also a very much more comforting thing, as the place that you come to has one of these large waystones, just this large granite obelisk that just seems to be centered in what would otherwise be described as a small park, just a little resting area. And as you are sitting there, there is a seagull that actually comes and kind of like sits down, or like lands near-ish you, and just kind of looks over at you and brings its wings up. Just kind of like walks a little closer to you and then brings the wings down.
Okay.
And just starts pecking around a little bit. And it continues to get closer to you as it does.
I mean, all right. I was just going to kind of like sit at the waystone and just like start taking in everything, getting a good getting my bearings around the island.
Okay. And so you continue to kind of get your bearings around the island, and you know from your travels around, just kind of looking around this area anyways, that the city itself is broken up into a eastern block and then a western block, and the western block is much smaller. and is mostly residential area with a little bit of trade presence, whereas the eastern block is more of the area of industry. There's going to be a lot more shops there. There's going to be more taverns there. You will find that there are also, as you had been walking through, you noticed that there were several religious sites as well that seem to be set up for people to generally go and give praise to their chosen deity, as well as at the very top of this island, as it does kind of scale upward, at the highest point is a large 5-chambered building that is covered in mostly glass domes. And you can see that each one of these separate chambers all has their own glass dome, and you could see that there was a lot of condensation on the inside of several of these, as well as lights on in the middle. And you would assume that that would be the Bronze Dragon's central location.
Greenhouse.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think at this point is where I would write my letter that I've already sent you.
Okay. Yeah. And as you're doing it, this seagull is kind of like tilted its head over and is just watching you write.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right. And so as you finish your letter and get it properly, get it written the way that you want with minimal crossouts, you begin to put everything away. And as you begin to stand up and leave, you actually hear from behind you, Dara Strixie.
I'm sorry, what?
And you look behind, and this seagull is just looking back at you. And it opens its mouth and says, Dara Strixie, dragon blood.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have stayed out this long. I need to go sleep.
Will you come visit?
Visit
it just hops
him.
a little bit further towards you. When you say visit who, you see it motion with its wing towards the large domed buildings at the top of the hill.
I don't think so.
You should visit. It just nods. And it is speaking Draconic to you. It is not speaking in common.
Can I get an insight check on this bird?
Sure.
$10.
Well, this is your first time having a bird speak to you in such a manner, let alone in such a fluent Draconic tongue. That's very weird. You don't trust this bird as much as Blake as you do trust this bird as Connor the player. You have the same level of distrust towards it.
I'm just gonna walk away.
And it just flies off. It does not, it doesn't follow you or proceed to talk to you. But you do end up making your way back to Greyboar's Tavern. And when you do, you find your room and just kind of sit down and just think about the fact that you just had a weird conversation with a seagull. That seagull saw what you were writing. Then
I'm gonna pour back over that letter. And in the darkness, I say, fuck.
all right. So that is going to be where you end up finding sleep. Whether it is restful or not is entirely up to you. And then, Cori, when you finish your meditation with Oliviette, she looks at you and says, I can see why you choose to stay in the autumn form. It's wonderful there. How does he live
It
without
is,
a
it's
head?
true. Oh, well, that's what a Dullahan is. They don't have a head. Well, I mean, they do. It's just not attached anymore. It's face shenanigans, you know.
At the same time, I love these face shenanigans. They infuriate me. And I think that's what draws me to it more, to be fair. So that I want to know why, and the obvious answer is always going to be just because.
But that's actually pretty succinct.
That's good
What-
for me.
What is the insectoid reptile thing? What is that called?
Those are called kruthic.
Kruthic?
Yes.
What do they do?
Well, they eat and are mean and prefer humanoids as their dinner. There are... Some people believe that they came over with travelers from far away. At least that is how they always describe themselves. I've seen one of these travelers maybe once, I think.
Oh, so they're not native to the Underdark?
No. The way that they described it is they are not native to around here. Much in the same way that you're not native to around here. It's just that they chose to live in the Underdark. They're weird purple skin, rubbery, talking to your mind. Rather not.
Oh. Interesting.
Very much so. My mother would... There was one that was in our town that my mother would talk to every once in a while, but I was always told never to go near. So I didn't, because it made sense at the time.
That does make sense. Listen to your mother.
Yeah, it's ingrained in you at that point. But, yes, we had the kruthic, then show you the myconoids, and of course, the field of endless gem.
Yes, what do you use that for?
Well, some drow like to tinker, and when they do, they like to use the crystal. Others prefer to use it for ornamental purposes. Then, of course, gold and silver and other currencies are harder to come by than that crystal is, so most of the time we just use the crystal as our currency.
Oh, as currency.
It makes it easier. Underdark expands. Spans the complete underside of everything else, so crystal is as good as money of any.
Wow. I just thought that they used gold everywhere. They use it in the Feywild. They use it on the natural plane.
Yes, we still use gold. Used gold. I don't know what the situation is now, but it's mostly you just don't turn down people's coinage. We value it kind of sporadically. So if it ends up looking expensive and you know somebody who would be willing to buy it, then you just take it. And then, of course, there are this situation where if you are a matriarch or another high-ranking drow, you simply just state how much you are going to pay for a thing. And then you pay that much. It's a very terrible system for the business owner.
That's awful.
But that's why a good drow does not show you the best what they have to offer until after somebody has already looked through. Always ask. Because otherwise, if you put a bunch of time and effort into a thing and a matriarch comes by and says, I am going to buy that for 5 silver, and it was a couple gold to make, well, it's either you take the loss on the item or you take the loss of your life. And
I'll have to remember this for when I visit the Underdark.
I would not recommend visiting the Underdark, but honestly, I would choose to go back to your Fall Isle instead of this Underdark.
Well, I've been to the Fall Isle. I want to see what else is out there.
I do as well.
I'm going to spend plenty of time on the Fall Isle, trust me.
Oh, why's that?
Oh, well, I'm the lower Caelum of the Fall Isle. It's going to be my responsibility one day.
So you're going to be riding around on a horse that snoots out smoke?
Well, probably not a horse. Probably something different. But
Do you get to choose?
yes, actually.
What do you want? What is it that you would prefer to ride around on?
Well, I made a friend with a spirit in the Summer Isle when I was young, and I was hoping that he'd be willing to help me out.
I don't know about this making friends with spirits, but it sounds enjoyable.
Well, making friends with fae spirits is kind of my job, so...
Well, hopefully. I mean, based on what you've shown me, you've been doing an excellent job.
Oh, that's sweet.
Now, Cori, I wanted to ask, where are you going after this?
After what? Oh, yes. Yes. Eventually. How long are you going to be staying here?
Well, I was planning on staying here for at least a couple of days, but if you would like, seeing as how we are kind of in this whole moon deal together, if you just give me a time frame for when you would like to leave, and it's not several months or something like that,
Certainly.
then
Certainly not.
I would be willing to at least hold out from setting sail until you needed it.
You said you were going to be doing paperwork for the next few days.
Yes.
All right. Well, we have some work to do. It's going to take us at least a day. But it would not be a bad idea to have some rest before we get going. Can I say 3 days, perhaps?
3 days is fine.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to my group and we'll finalize on that. But for now, let's say 3 days.
That's fair. And then I had one other thing. I've realized that we have meditated together. We've been to the moon. We've fought off pirates and of course done all of that. But would you like to get dinner sometime? Or breakfast? We're up earlier than most people are anyway, so it'd be easy to go and do that.
That sounds lovely. Yes, of course we could do that.
All right. You said that you had plans to go out and sail. So once you are finished with the job, how about I buy you dinner? As congratulations.
Okay.
And she just kind of straightens the papers that she had at the desk and says, it's sorted then. I found myself really enjoying our conversations.
Oh, I enjoy our conversations as well.
All right, well, have a good morning, Coriander. And may Elestre be with you.
And also with you.
And I feel like she gives like a very exaggerated bow, like still like, I don't know if this is the right thing, but...
Cori just follows suit, to almost as a joke, but it's just sort of like, I'm in it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Just
yeah, and so you two give a very exaggerated bow to each other. And then what would you like to do with the 4 hours that you have remaining before your friends wake up?
I'm going to cast Find Steed.
Okay.
Because I have that now.
Because I have a horse now.
Because I got a horse now.
Well, a horse thing.
A horse adjacent creature.
Horse adjacent creature. Shoot, what did I even call that thing?
A horse adjacent creature.
a horse adjacent creature. It has a Oakenheel. That's what I called it. That's its name. Yeah, no, Cori's gonna go find some place where she can feel like nature and the magic of the Feywild and call on Oakenheel and see if he answers.
Yeah, there is actually there are a lot of places for you to reconnect with nature around here, more so than there were back when you were in Shroudport. It seems like the city beautification process is actually taken very seriously on this island, and so there are quite a variety of different parks and other recreational areas that are just kind of grassy or have these very vibrant colored plants and walkways. And so you actually find a place where you feel is more apt for it being a closer to a Fey crossing, but it's actually 3 roads that all kind of intersect among themselves, which you would know to be known as a witch's fork. And so that's just kind of one of those things where it's the intersecting of different pathways. And so you are able to summon Oakenheart using your fine Oakenheel. I will write that down.
She do that.
Okay. So, that is going to take you 10 minutes. When you summon Oakenheel, if you would like, you can either describe it now, or you can describe to the party members what they see when you bring Oakenheel around.
Let's what's it called when you suspense. Let's leave them in suspense. We will do that.
Suspense.
We will suspense.
Okay. Yeah, so Caelum, you wake up with 4 hours left. What would you like to do?
He'll grab his things, some paper, quill, ink, kind of start for the door, turns to where Gwen is, looks over, pulls the covers slightly over her, then turns and then leaves.
It was like down past the shoulder a little bit, and it's like, oh, that might be a little chilly. And so then you're heading downstairs?
Yeah, he's just gonna start writing what he knows.
Okay, and you can see that Greybeard is still on staff. It does not look like there has been a change of staff at all. And he just walks over to you, just enthusiastic as he was when you first came in, just, hey, how's it going? Do you need any water or anything like that?
Tea would be nice. Do you sleep?
Oh, you know, it's only a couple hours every night. I don't really need any more than that.
Right. Okay. Tea, please.
He just gives you a big grin, laughs to himself, and turns around and fetches you some tea. When he comes back, he has a very nice herbal blend.
Ooh, nice.
Can I get you anything else?
No, that's it for now.
I got egg witches I serve here. You'll love them if you like eggs.
Maybe when my party comes around in like 4 hours. Thank you, though.
Sounds good. I'll make sure 4 hours, egg witches.
You should sleep.
Got it. What? Don't be
What?
ridiculous. And he just turns and walks away.
Okay.
Yeah, so Caelum, you are busy writing out the stories of Coralon that you learned about. And Gwen and Blake, you guys wake up at Gwen will actually wake up earlier than Blake will, because Blake went out and walked around the town for a while.
Me. Gwen is going to wake up and Caelum didn't take you out? God damn it. And she's gonna crawl over and like lay on top of Cybra and say, go.
And Cybra will begin
Take me
just
to the
walking
door.
off. Yeah, and with your strength check, you're able to easily just kind of maintain your position on her. And then as she gets to the door, she just brings up a paw and just marks at the door a little bit.
Gwen reaches up with one hand, still body over the dog, and turns the handle and opens the door.
All right. So yeah, Caelum, you see Cybra currently walking down the stairs with Gwen just laying on top of her.
Good morning.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Graybeard, some coffee and meat and bacon.
Bacon.
Yeah.
As she walks by. Gwen is going to like slide off of Cybra as she gets to the table.
Okay. And Cybra
So she
just
just-
continues walking.
Gwen's gonna lay on the floor face up for a second. Are we gonna train today?
If you want.
Okay, good. Coffee, and she reaches her hand up.
If there's like the pot, he'll grab it and a cup and then pour and then
Graybeard
sugar.
insists on pouring it for you himself.
milk, sugar, black.
And she'll sit up a little bit on the floor still, just like hair a mess, eyes mostly closed, coffee in her hand, and she's just, it's like too early for her to actually start drinking it, but it's there, and she's like getting the aroma of the coffee, which is helping a little bit.
And Graybeard will actually come over and say, you know, sometimes it's a little too hot to drink your coffee this early in the morning, but you don't want it to cool off. But what if it started cold? Have you ever had cold coffee before?
I feel like you're saying a lot of words really fast, and I don't know if I can deal with. Why don't you come back in 10 minutes?
Sounds good. Egg-widges?
What?
Sure.
This thing where I take 2 eggs and then I make some meat and I put it between the 2 eggs and then you can just eat it like a sandwich. House specialty. They're delicious.
Cool.
Okay, and he just walks off.
Gwen will pull herself up on the table, on the chair to the table, and just
Caelum's
sitting
still,
there.
like in his jammies.
Did you sleep well?
I meditated. I did some writing. Did you sleep well? He looks like you slept well. He ruffling in his bag. You don't brush, do you?
Brush what?
Your hair? Yes.
Not normally. If it's bothering you, you can brush it. Maybe I should take better care of my hygiene.
Do you want to talk about it?
I mean, you just like bathe regularly, right?
No, I mean, what's going on right now?
I'm sorry, like in this moment?
I mean, like, you're not being you. Like, normally you're rowdy, rambunctious, kind of give 'em hell attitude, but now you're kind of like wet noodle, yes.
Hey, I'm not a wet noodle. But I have calmed down because I have to calm down because I can't protect you guys if I'm being all... And then she kind of just motions.
One of the things that Farron taught me is that there's a time and place for everything. So there's sometimes we'll need you as that protector, and then there's sometimes that we kind of need you to go berserk.
Yeah, that's why I have to train harder so that I can go berserk in combat.
Right. But
Right.
you don't have to, like, fully change.
Well, no, just be better for you guys.
Cam will nod his head. This entire time, he's just brushing her hair.
It's always one of the elves.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all we're good for. It's the elves, you sit them down, they brush your hair, they talk about emotions.
They teleport everywhere,
And and Blake, it's around that time that you find yourself coming downstairs as well, to see Caelum brushing Gwen's hair.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would say you're next, but
that would require hair. Chalice on table, rolling dice. It's a 6.
You should probably do that in your room, dude. You're gonna freak people out.
I kind of think I've already passed that up. How'd the night go?
no, pretty well. I found out some things about, well, mostly like myths and legends of Coralon. Nothing substantial, but something. How about you?
I walked around for a bit last night, and a seagull invited me to go see a Rask.
It's a weird dream.
Yeah.
Except I assume I don't really do that well with the ginger expression of birds, but he did that while I was writing a letter to Ilani. I certainly did write that letter.
So last night you took a walk in the city and a seagull flew down and told you, hey, let's have a tea party over at the giant dragon.
Well, I specifically said I should visit this building on the top of the city.
Yeah.
Pause. You went out in a weird city that we've never been to by yourself at night.
There are gods everywhere.
Yeah, we don't know how straight shooting those guards are.
Pretty straight shooting. One of them got a pickpocket while I was out.
Did he actually get a pickpocket, or did he just accuse someone of it?
That's a wonderful question that I don't think I rolled high enough to do the correct answer for.
Like, you're not making any sense this morning.
Well, stranger things have happened. People have gone to the moon, talking birds, gem babies.
I haven't had anything weird happen to me yet.
You have a Goliath spirit in you.
That's not weird.
That's a little weird.
Wait for you, gem baby.
Did you ever explain to us that you can see through Cyber's eyes? Because that's kind of weird.
I explained what happened, but I have no idea how. I don't know. Why would I know?
Yeah, you can warg. That's weird.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's in this book.
That's a different franchise.
Yeah, it's a different franchise. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna turn to Cybra and I'm gonna look at her.
So Cybra had actually continued going out the door, but when you go to look down at where she was, you end up just kind of following your line of vision up to the entryway of the bar, and that's where you see Coriander walking in.
Yep. Cori just walks in.
On tail.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Morning, Cori.
How's everyone doing?
Sorry, I'm going to lean over to Caelum and just be like, I wonder if they banged or not. I feel like it's getting there, right?
That's a private question that if you wish to ask Coriander, you can ask Coriander.
Cool. Ask Coriander.
Did you guys bang?
What? Pots and pans?
All right. That answers my question. There are a lot of words for it. How was your night?
How was my night? Oh, it was lovely. I have a steed now.
You went out and bought a horse?
Oh, no. I summoned him from the Feywild.
What?
Fucking casters.
Caelum had like a what's it with a scrunchie in his mouth and it just drops.
Yeah, it's just like Noonin. Anyway, I'm completely not surprised now. Anyway, bad news is we're gonna have to take the troll boat. Good news is there is no good news. I guess good news is I have a steed. Yeah, there we go. That's fine.
You do remember I bought you a horse, right?
You did not buy me a horse.
I bought you a
nag.
You bought me a pack animal.
Yeah.
And she's not here right now. So there you go. Regardless, we have work to do. I gave Oliviette 3 days before we were to leave the island. Does anyone want to stay here for any longer than that? Anybody have any reason to?
Maybe 5 days, because it's like a day over and then 2 days in another direction.
The world is ending, Caelum.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Well,
be looming over our head for a while.
I mean, normally I would say it isn't the end of the world, but it actually is. So I think that, there's a little bit of importance here.
And as
so
you're
we'll
saying
skip.
That, Greybeard is just standing behind you with some plates with these egg witches on them, and he's just, what do you mean the world's ending?
Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Oh, thank you, Greybeard.
You have a dragon here. You guys will be fine.
Okay.
She'll take the plates from him and help pass them out.
And
traumatize the NPC.
And as you do, he just says, there's some cheese in those as well. Helps keep the meat. You sure I don't have to worry about this whole world-ending business? That seems pretty...
Greybeard, what are you going to do about it? You shouldn't worry about it if there's nothing you can do.
Gwen shrugs.
I guess we'll skip training today. Caelum puts his hair back.
All these humans are so anxious.
I'm gonna go take care of these other customers. Now.
Sure thing.
Hey, look. GB. Everything's gonna be great. You work on your iced coffee.
Oh, yes. Did you want any?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Just a minute.
Could you do the same thing but with tea?
I can try. And he just continues walking off. And after about 5 minutes, he comes back and he does have what looks to be containers of both iced tea and iced coffee that he sets out for Blake and Caelum.
Yeah.
Gross.
So I may have something to do here in one of those days.
What?
I mean, I might actually want to go dragon.
The one who hates the person that you are after? Cloned of?
Yes.
I don't know what the past tense of cloned is. Is it cloned? Ah.
The more you know.
Yes, the one who hates me.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And I turn to Cori and I just go, no. Very obviously. She's not very good at hiding shit.
Why do you say things that you don't mean?
Me? Oh. Do you know what sarcasm is?
Oh, okay.
It's a chasm located in SAR.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, RJ.
Okay, bye.
The Sarcastics were a traveling theater group. In the Feywild.
Right, okay.
The theater.
Avoid the theater.
Avoid the theater.
No theater.
So we're gonna go to the troll and then to an island to kill a bunch of bird people in their home.
And then kill a witch. Hag.
I mean, we're going to bring pirates to justice in their home.
What?
Which is going to be a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
You know, they're probably going to live up in the trees, right? We should probably prepare for that with like climbing supplies.
Ranged weapons.
I cannot teleport.
Oh, well,
Oh.
I could go into my spring form and I can send you instead.
You know what? I'm going to say I'm set on that one, but thank you for offering. Why don't we just go get like grappling hooks and stuff?
Okay, it's not a bad idea.
Like, can you
Caelum,
fit in a tree?
Can you levitate?
Only on nights of the full moon.
That's specific, but okay. Oh, we're a levitator.
All right. And as you guys discuss your plans for the day, that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has decided to stick around. Thank you to all of the new follows that we got. That was really cool to see a bunch of people coming out. I'm glad that we have a thing that can be quality for you guys. If you want to continue helping us make these shows quality, you can go and either help support us on Twitch, Discord, or Twitch, Patreon, or our merch store. We got a lot of ways for you guys to help us out with that. For some really sweet merch, I must say. But I will go into more of that at the end of the show. So, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here in the show, but you can catch me on Twitter and Twitch at RJustice282, where I tweet about some of the nerdier things in my life and retweet some of the nerdier, funnier things like cats with human ears. You could also catch me here on the Monday night show as Caelum, on the Tuesday night show as Hubris, where we're playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and on Wednesday as our boy Speedy in Barovia. Also, you can catch me on Saturday on Pro Restarters channel on Monster of the Week as Ajax.
Yes. And LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me. Hi, I'm LB. You can find me on Mondays and Tuesday nights here on the Indoor Adventure. That was a really gross burp that I cut myself off on. And Tuesday I play Ghost, where we have just pseudo-adopted 3 street urchins, and they will need a place to sleep, which leaves Ghost out of a bed for the night, so we'll see where that goes.
Sucks to be her.
And then Wednesday I will be playing in the Curse of Strahd game. I'm playing Silmi, a noble who's never been on an adventure before and does not like ghosts, she's found out. And then Friday night, I will try to be at my game on Pro Restarters channel because I'll be out of town. It'll be a little tricky. And then Sunday, I will be in the Fates game on Encounter Roleplay's channel. We're getting into some serious stuff, some good RPs happening, and oh boy, stopping people from becoming supervillains. That's my job.
Do it, Abby.
Hey. All right. And Cyberwolf, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hello. You can find me at Cyberwolf1201 on the Twitters, where I tweet stuff, random stuff, existential stuff, or just shit posts. Or I post whenever I go live on twitch.tv/Cyberwolf1201, where I play video games very badly. And there are clips from the last game to prove it. But I talk about lore because I have to have some sort of quality content. Right now we're playing through Breath of the Wild, which mostly involves me falling off of cliffs and dying. The gameplay archives for that go up on my YouTube channel, where you can also find a podcast that Kyle with an N and I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk and do parkour and talk about stuff. And eventually I'm going to edit another episode and put it up there, but I just adopted a doggo and am a struggling single father, so...
She's a good girl.
She's a good girl.
She has been a good girl tonight. You can, for other role-playing content, you can find me on Thursdays on Pro Restar's channel, where I am playing a 8-year-old shifter ranger, and that's going some type of way. And it's not a channel that I'm on right now, but same day as we air these, you can also look at Open for Adventure. It's a really cool other 5th edition campaign. They've got a lot of really cool stuff going on right now. And I don't know, maybe you'll be able to see me there sometime. But until then, helping out behind the scenes and some cool stuff. You should check it out.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Alrighty. And Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
I am Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do drawings and things. That goes to my portfolio. You can see all the drawings that I do that are usually D&D related. And sometimes there are sketches from the game.
Yes. And I believe you have a thing on Wednesday you do now.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Well, I mean, for this Wednesday, at least, I'm going to be finishing up Death House. And RJ will be there, and Steven will be there, and LB will be there, and Connor will be there eventually as a guest, and my husband Tyler is going to be there also on Wednesday, as I take you all through the Death House, and you guys get to unravel the secrets that lie within. And that's going to continue as the rest of the Curse of Strahd adventure, with more guests and more spooks and scares and vampires and all the stuff that comes with being in Barovia. So I would love to see everyone there.
Yes.
Welcome to Barovia.
All right. And I am the Indoor Adventurer. If you've made it this far, you probably already knew that. I would like to once again say thank you to all of the Twitch supporters and Patreon supporters, because this new setup is really cool. I nerd out about production and value stuff, so it's just like, I could get a better camera and better light because of awesome contributions from viewers like you. So thank you. In much the same way a public broadcasting system works, this is all viewer based. So without you guys, I would still be trying to stream this off of a tablet, which I will tell you now, didn't work. It didn't work the first time. I don't know why I thought it would continue to work later. But Monday nights at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have more of these kinds of games. Our homebrew campaign. On our Tuesday night games, the cat is doing stuff. We have Waterdeep Dragon Heist, where we are very much hot on the trail of the Stone of Galore. Where, as LB said, you guys have recently adopted 3 little urchin children. So we are going to see what continues on in that storyline, as well as now on Wednesday, currently, at least for this week, we have our Curse of Strahd game, where I play Kefris Malrezka, a barbarian who refuses to rage. So come on by Wednesday, maybe find out why he rage, or if he will rage at all. But until then, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show, Nights in the Courtyard. So if you would like to come and check that out, you can check out the link to the Patreon that I just posted in chat, where patrons also get access to our Discord. They can get turned into characters within the game. And once I start doing improv sessions, which is going to be a thing that I wanted to start incorporating into our campaign, people in the Patreon will also be some of the first people that I go and ask to see if they would like to even do these kinds of things, because it's easy for me to then get your contact information through Patreon. So if you want to possibly even play with myself or any of these other people, considering checking us out on Patreon and then finding your way to the channel that way. But we are heading into Knights of the Courtyard now, so we will see you guys next week. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!